And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Darian Talks UTSA. And we got a special guest today. I want to pop that off. Before we get into all the UTSA and Memphis drama, we're going to save that for later on in the show. But we got a guest, D-Lam and Damian Wimberly is joining us today. Welcome to the show, Damian. Happy to have you on.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, guys, I only got him for about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you got any questions for him or any of that type of thing, or you want to holler at him and say what's up, hit those comments ASAP. And yeah, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. But while I have you, I don't know how much you've known or seen. I don't know how much you guys look at it, but I follow UT. I obviously play. We were talking about that beforehand, but I follow UTSA. Probably, I've not missed a game since I think ever since I was on the first ever team. And I've seen sort of the transitions with like coaches, right? We had the Coker era to the Wilson era, and then we got the Coach Traylor era, right? And I think Coach Traylor has brought something different and a type of culture and a lively culture that has got the city behind it. And he done created UTSA, like made UTSA winners, you know what I'm saying? Like with the championships and things like that. So you coming over, having last season be your first season, walk me through your experience with Coach Traylor and the staff and how it is working with them on a day-to-day basis.
I feel like one, the player to coach, like so it's player to coach like our relationships that we be having.
Yeah.
You could really tell like it's genuine and like they really be pouring into you, from, like how hard we be working as a unit. Because like I could say like all of us got one mindset. All of us know if it's not buy-in, then it's not Coach Treller's program, because like he's been
Right.
going by the five pillars since he's been here, and that's just everything that he pours into us. So I could just say it's been great for me, and like my growth since I first got here to now, I could tell like I matured way more since my freshman year to now.
Yeah. How have you grown as a player under this staff, right? Like talk a little bit more about how you mature. Like how have you matured? What are you seeing different in your development as a player under Coach Traylor and the staff's tutelage?
I can say my key to focus on like basically plays like the play calls always was easy. It's just like I'm starting to pick up more on like different type of schemes of offices and like as a defense they break it down to like the minute, like even if it's not only for me, like my teammates too, like they always try to like always make us to where like it's easy for us to understand, like it's not like a loop or anything.
Right. Make it simple. Yeah, and I used to love that too, right? It was one of the things whenever I was playing there. It's like the more you simplify the playbook, the more we can react on instincts and go out and make plays and things like that.
Yes,
It's
sir.
cool to it's cool to hear Coach Traylor doing that for you. Talk to me about last season, right? Like you coming over to UTSA. I believe you scored a touchdown. Did you have a scoop and score?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah. Speak to me about your experience playing last year. Like, what did you feel good about? What did you feel good about your performance last year and your first season with UTSA?
I could just say mainly like I always feel like I've always been locked in, focused, been buying my team. I just feel like off field things like family wise, going through certain losses in my family, like it just like brings my mental off football sometimes, and like the motivation that I have for this is never gonna change. Like I feel like once like I told you earlier, like I've been like way more focused this year, and like since last year, it's it's been a detrimental change from me and my team. Like all of us buying in. Like I could say everybody was bought in last year. Just like it probably wasn't enough focus. You feel me?
Mhm.
Like from a unit. That's probably just it. Like I
Yeah,
don't think there's nothing different, to be honest with you.
got you. And carrying that into this season in 2025, this upcoming season. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm expecting big things. Like I think last year, I think the nucleus was a little different, right? Like Frank Harris and like a lot of the guys who have been there for a long time were not there, and it was sort of like the new group that's like getting everything rolling. And I feel like there was some bumps along the way, but I feel like y'all got it together like that second half of the season, and I
I feel
think
like
that's
it was never. I feel like it was like never no bumps, to be honest with you. You feel me? It
really,
just takes something to get you used to, you know? I
yeah,
always have faith in my team. Like
right,
never there was never a moment of the game where I was like, man, I don't feel like we were gonna win this. It just
yeah,
certain things happen, you know?
yeah. Circumstances are like that. What are you looking forward to in 2025 this upcoming season? What are you looking forward to the most?
My D line, bro.
Yeah,
You're gonna see a whole bunch of backfield noise. Like I have so much faith in me and my team,
that's what I
like
like to
since
hear.
January. You feel me?
Yeah,
It's gonna most definitely be some noise about us.
yeah.
Can't say too much.
Cool. No, I'm with it. I'm with it. Last thing, and I'll let you go after this one. Talk to me about San Antonio and the fan love, right? Like I remember just being out there and living out there, how passionate the San Antonio fans were, how much they supported UTSA. What's been your experience like interacting with the folks in San Antonio and what the fans mean to you?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but like since 2-0 is already the zip code as a defense, every time we break out to go on the field to do anything, it could be from a conditioning drill to going against the offense. We break
Yeah.
on 2-0.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
that that alone, like I feel like that lets the fans know, like you feel me, this is genuine. And like all the games I've played in since I've been here, crowd's been crazy. Fans always been great. They even come to the practices. Something I'm used to. Like I just didn't know. Like
Uh-oh. Let's give him a second. His connection has wavered just a little bit. Let's see if it comes back. There you go. He's back. I think. We'll see. Let me try to work the rest of this out real quick.
hello,
Are you on? Let's see. I'm gonna try to give him a second to see if he can figure out his connection so he can finish his point. But it looks like we might have lost him. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things he mentioned there was the breaking out on 2-1-0. That's dope, man. That's dope. Let me see if he's back. We can get him back on real
hello,
quick.
hear me?
I think you're back now. Yeah, we lost you on the last piece you were talking
Her
about.
fault.
Uh, no,
My
you're all
fault.
good. You're all good.
I was just saying, like also to like piggyback on Coach Trailer, how like we always bring up the five pillars: integrity, passion, mental and physical toughness, selfless and perfect effort. You feel me? We just always every single week it's like it's the same one, but it's like always new things that I can learn from it and like
Yeah,
pouring into my teammates. Also, my team is pouring back into me and us building the chemistry more and more each and every day, so we could go into fall camp our heads down to be ready for the first game of the year.
already. Yeah, I wish you luck for fall camp and health throughout the season. I know fall camp is well. I don't know how it is now because I feel like they've been taking it. I feel like the rules had taken it a little easier on this generation. But fall camp was death when I was playing way back in the day. But yeah, man, I wish you the best of luck. I wish y'all the best of the luck. Of course, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be rooting for y'all. I'm gonna be on the sidelines and things throughout the season. So I hope to see you guys go out there and ball out. But yeah,
Yes,
man, thanks
sir.
so much for coming on the show. And
Was
yeah,
there?
good luck this season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, bro. See you. All right. That was Damian Wimberly. UTSA defensive lineman, man. I am excited. That I mean, just hearing them kind of talk about Coach Traylor's five pillars and just him mouthing them off like that, talking about 2-1-0 and things like that. I mean, it's cool to hear that from players sometimes, because like sometimes you don't know what people are motivated by. You don't really get a clear picture of if a player is bought in. And to me, just listening to him talk for just a little bit, he's bought in to what Coach Traylor is selling. And that to me is a good signal for what's to come in this upcoming season. And that's exciting, folks. That's exciting. Okay. Now, we're going to roll into the next phase of the show. We're going to talk. I'm going to answer your questions. So before I get into all your questions, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. And then I want to talk about all of the drama stuff that's been going on with UTSA Memphis. And then I'm obviously going to get into all of your questions. So fill up that chat for you, boy. But yeah, so I don't even know where to start on the UTSA and Memphis thing. But I think I'll start here. I'll start at where my involvement of all this has been. So last week, I don't know if you guys have seen, but if you haven't been on Twitter or X, but last week or so, there's a beat reporter. I think he reports for On3. He covers Memphis. He put out some tweets. To me, insinuating that he had been told that UTSA got the Memphis playbook, or like a PDF of the Memphis defensive playbook or something like that. Like some of the UTSA coaches got eye on that. And then he proceeded to post, he posted some video clips of like Owen McCown making really good plays against Memphis's defense. I don't know if y'all have seen this on Twitter, but it was insane to me. But actually, let me remove this banner. Yeah. So anyway, so he posted all this stuff, kind of insinuating that UTSA like may have been suspicious activity. And to me, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to write an article about this, because I thought it was very insignificant. And I think it's just like, listen, we beat Memphis last year. Memphis was ranked, I think, 25 at the time. We knocked them off their post, and I understand they're bitter about that. But like, to me, it almost goes back to like, I know Coach Traylor said something that triggered a response from Coach Silverfield, which is the head coach over at Memphis, and it caused him to like question why Traylor took a $27 or $28 million contract whenever UTSA is so underfunded, right? So you just got all this stuff going on. I responded with my article, of course, and my article mostly was, I felt like saying that, like, hey, UTSA may have seen a playbook or defensive playbook, and that being a big deal. Like, it's not really a big deal, guys. Let me tell you why. It's like, it's one thing if you get a call sheet prior to kickoff, like we seen with Wake Forest way back in 2016. If you got if you got a team's call sheets like right before, so you know what they're going to call, like to start the game and things like that, that's a little different. But in this case, it's like, oh, well, like they possibly seen a play or two of what they seen, like a PDF document of what Memphis is going to do. It's like the level of detail that are in a scouting report from week to week that Coach Traylor and his staff, and I just know they're prepared, right? Because I'm thinking about how prepared we were when Coker was there. Guys, you basically have their playbook based on what they've put on film, like from not only that season, but even dating back to last season. And if you got a new coordinator, you're going to watch film on that new coordinator or that coordinator's previous team to see what they have. You're going to have their playbook, basically. Like, that's how this works. So saying like, oh my God, somebody's seen, a play, so some plays or something from, like, let's posit a scenario that it did happen. That's not going to determine the game. Like, we're not listening on their comms, like while they make adjustments or as they make a call or as they, like how they're going to, what's their risk tolerance on third down versus how they're going to risk things on the floor. Like it was just wildly inconsiderate or not inconsiderate, it was just wildly like insignificant to me. And then also when you look at the fact that like he like so to be fair, like we took this offline and we went to the DMs and I don't think he liked my response because I mean it was respectful, but he didn't like that I was challenging him as a journalist because I said that he like threw one of his sources under the bus, which he clearly did. To me, I mean, like you say, well, hey, I didn't state the name of the source, but if you tell the source, if you tell everybody on Twitter that the source is a former Memphis player who is now a DB from Purdue, guys, y'all let me know in the comments. What does that mean? Is that not throwing a source under the bus? Like I've been doing this stuff for a while. You can say things like I've talked to the coaching staff, or you like depending on what it is. If they're like okay with some of this stuff, like or not talked to the coaching staff. I talked to people around the school, or I've talked. You can do things like that, right? But what you can't do is, or what you're not supposed to do is like expose enough information about a source that will lead everyone publicly to know who that person is. And to me, saying someone was a Memphis player who is now a DB at Purdue, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Anyway, the crazy part about this is we don't even play Memphis this year. It's insane. I'm sure there's going to be questions about it, but like the Memphis stuff is fun on Twitter, and I've already heard some stuff that's going down around media day with Memphis and UTSA already, and people talking and stuff like that. It's crazy, but I'll get into your questions. Frank, here we go. Memphis comment here. He says, Coach called the report from Memphis asinine. Never heard that word before. Coach was big mad. Yeah, I've definitely heard of asinine before, but yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, he also, that reporter was also kind of upset that like he's basically saying like I'm not accusing UTSA staff of anything. I think you are. I mean like your report is. And then like the report, like here's the thing. You can report what you've heard and you can like it's all about how you frame it. And then if you start to like add things to support your report, like plays and trying to break down plays to support the report you have, you got to take responsibility and ownership if somebody says like, yo, like you're kind of trying to throw the UTSA staff under the bus. Bro, it's that's what I'm saying. To me, respectfully, like unless it was something like somebody's listening on somebody's comms, it was not something that I would never report anything like that. Like that's not a thing that I thought it was embarrassing, to be honest. I did. I'm not even like, and I told him that directly multiple times. Not to be mean, but he was like really taken aback about my thoughts on it. And I was just like, it's not cool to just throw people under the bus. It's not cool to like kind of expose your sources. It's not cool to do some of these things. And you know why the source thing ticked me off? You like guys and guys and gals here. Whenever you're a part of a football team like this, right? You see how like we just had Wimberly on, and I'm not asking for inside information, right? He's even talking about like, yo, y'all gonna see we're gonna do XYZ this year. Y'all gonna see. I won't say too much. Like anytime a player leaks something to the media, it's one thing if you're doing an interview and you just talk too much, right? By accident. They don't care about that. They'll just be like, bro, don't say this. Don't say that. But if someone is leaking private matters, there's so much that happens on football teams that do not see the light of day. And if somebody is found leaking some of those private matters, it's going to damage the credibility of that player. That player could lose their scholarship. There was a situation that happened. This was 2013, I think, where there was just a private matter that happened within our team that was pretty serious. It was really serious. And it got leaked. It didn't get leaked into words like in the big papers, but it kind of did get leaked back in the day. And Coach Coker basically has said, whoever leaked this, you're off the team, 100%. And like people knew who leaked it, right? And like you kind of got to make a decision at that point. Like if Coach Coker would have found out, I think he probably found out later on. But if he would have found out at that time, that dude would have lost his scholarship. That's just so anyway, that's a thing you don't do. That can also, if you get that tag, that's also will screw you up in future opportunities. So like, anyway, I digress. That situation just ticked me off because I'm like, bro, you got to protect your sources, bro. You got to protect these people. Frank says, I am so disappointed we don't get to play Memphis this season. That was my favorite match last year. Yeah, I am too. It'd be, could you imagine if we played Memphis this season with all this going on? Oh, it'd be crazy. That'd be another game that'll do numbers, I think. Frank says, I remember that muggy morning walking up to the Dome after that loss against Tulsa and walking out with that dub. I think momentum from that singular game will carry over to this season. I hope it does. It's one of the things that I was just saying to Wimberly about is like, yeah, I think that I know he didn't necessarily agree with this, but I do think that UTSA had some bumps. And that second half of the season was really, really good. And it really gave me a lot of confidence in what the runners will be able to do for 2025, because it did look like the start of a strong nucleus. And we have that same nucleus, or pretty much the same nucleus. We lost a lot of guys on defense, but pretty much the same nucleus going to the next season, especially at that quarterback position, right? So, yeah, I think all of that works. I think all of it works, and I'm excited to see what goes on this season. Shout out to Marco here. Welcome, Marco. Make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're watching. If you're still watching, he's probably not. Anthony says, birds up, road runner family. Shout out to Anthony. Elijah says, I'm just trying not to get too hyped about the season because of how I was hurt last year. Get hyped, bro. It's that time. It's late July, bro. It's August. They start camp next week. Yeah, UTSA they're in practice next week, next Tuesday, I believe. It's go time. I got my annual media thing from Kyle giving us media availability and like how we have to do like media credentials and all that stuff. It's go time. It's that time of the year. Shout out to Steven. He says, I've been watching your live stream. Good stuff, Darian. Shout out to you for being here, my friend. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel and rock with your boy every week. More from Marco. Let's go 210. The 210 thing was cool, bro. So for those of you who missed it, we had Damian Wimberly, UTSA D lineman on here, and he was just talking about some of the things. I asked him a question about the fan support and just San Antonio in general, and he talked the way he described the support and how great San Antonio was, and he talked about the folks in the Dome. But he said the one thing that, and I credit this to Coach Traylor, just building building a, what do you call it? Just a great culture, right? A culture that's buying in not only to the program, but the city of San Antonio and the people of San Antonio. And he's saying like every single break since they've been here has been 2-1-0. And to me, that's a direct, that's directly involving the city of San Antonio into the team. And you just hope that everybody across the entire huge space of San Antonio can start to connect more with things like that, so UTSA can start to take those steps in the right direction in terms of being a bigger, more efficient program that's going to be here to stay for a long time and begin to move some of these mountains. Melissa says, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Shout out to Melissa. Yes, like and subscribe. I'm getting better at it, y'all. Gio says, thoughts on each corner in the cornerback room. So great question. I won't go individual. I won't go down individuals so much, but I want to see who he's going to roll out there. I know the guy we got from Oklahoma State. There's a lot of hype around him. I'll trust me. I'll be better with the names whenever I get the updated roster thing. But yeah, I think the list is like. Here's my thing on the cornerback room is I trust the coach. I trust the coach. Just talking to him and getting to know him for a little bit when I was up in San Antonio, I trust that he's going to put something out there that's going to produce in a way that's going to put us in a really good position. I think that's the biggest part. I thought one of the interesting things out of our conversation was like he kind of pointed out to me that like, yeah, we started out a bit rocky. He was just talking about his position group and said that, yeah, it took us a minute to like find ourselves, find the role, find who does what best and some of those things until they really start making plays. I mean, look at Zay Frazier and what he was able to do. So yeah, I think I trust in, him and what he's going to roll out there and him getting those guys prepared. I trust the way, I mean, look, what I'll say about that is like, when you look at the guys that guy's produced, you just don't worry about that position as much because he's going to the guys he's bringing in are going to have met a certain criteria that suits his style and what he wants. And if he gets that or even gets half of that, you see what he's turning these guys into. So yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'll give more details on the corners a little closer to season, though, on the individuals anyway. ATX says, why do you think UTSA hasn't revealed the new Nike uniforms? Do you think they'll be revealed at AC Media Days this week? I expect we'll see something this week. But I don't know, honestly. Trust me, I have texted some buddies that's at UTSA right now, and I don't know if they actually knew anything, but they didn't give me anything. They didn't tell me nothing. So yeah, I mean, the people that I text around the program says they don't know when it's going to be released. They hadn't got any indication. I haven't texted anybody in a few weeks about it, but yeah, I have gotten nothing about it. I mean, they have to show us at some point. I mean, we got a game in almost a month, in about 5 weeks from now. But yeah, I mean, I if I'm being honest, I think they're going to be the jerseys. I don't know if you guys have seen the College Football 26 video game, but I think those will be the jerseys. I think those will be the jerseys 100%. And I don't know if I like those jerseys, by the way, but I don't care. Like them or not, it is what it is. I just want the team to play well. Anthony says, are there any specific position battles you are looking forward to seeing during camp, or is it too early to tell? No. So I think the QB2, I know that's not the sexy thing to say, but QB2 is where I have my eyes set. I think because if you look at all the other positions, there's going to be rotations. There's going to be rotations at safety, right? I mean, I know you got like Jimmy Ward, you got Elijah Newell. I expect to see both of those guys at safety quite a bit, but we have some other guys that are pretty good too. The cornerback position, I think we'll see rotation there, especially to start the season, and I think we'll see the same thing in the front seven, except for the guys like your Owen Pee Wees and people like that who have been with the program and has sort of have a spot nailed down. Even the same thing at receiver, right? We're going to see a bunch of receivers. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for receivers. Obviously, McEwen and Medora are going to be names that you see quite a bit, but there's going to be a lot of opportunity for other guys. But that QB2 position is one that I am almost most interested in, because I think I went to one practice in the spring, and I am very convinced that Brandon Tennyson would be your number 2 quarterback, just because of how comfortable he looked. I mean, he throws a really good ball. Like, I was quite shocked, to be honest, because I hadn't seen him. I hadn't really seen him. But he throws a really good ball, and I think Max Gerlich, he has raw talent. He's a raw athlete, right? He has really good size, but he's young. He's a freshman. He's not going to be ready to take a number 2 spot, right? At least not yet. He's probably going to have to develop for some years. And then Noah Lugo, he looked all right too. It felt like he was more of a dual threat guy. He didn't his passes wasn't as tight as Brandon Tennyson's. But I don't know. I think the reason I say QB2 is that could end up being the most important position on the football field. Because you think about it, man, like people get hurt all the time. You don't want your quarterback to get hurt. We definitely don't want that. But if it does happen, who's going to be the next in line? Is going to be able, is that person going to be able to still keep the season alive, still go out there and get wins? I think that to me is what's really important here. So we'll see. Caleb says, will our continuity on offense be able to offset the expected growing pains on defense? Great question here, Caleb. You know what? I hope so. I think we're going to probably struggle on defense until we find ourselves, right? I think here's what I'll say about the defenses under Coach Traylor. Like, if we look at points per game, I think UTSA, if UTSA wants to have a shot at a conference title, if we're holding teams on average around 24, 25 points, I think we're okay. I think we can make a run at the title. If you go back and look at the 2 conference championships, albeit a different conference, that's where we were. We were around that 24-point mark. We were holding teams around there. And then our offense was obviously producing crazy numbers, right? Our offense produced crazy numbers in the second half of the season. But we were giving up as a team around 30 points for the entire season. And the second half of the season, we're giving up 31 points a game, right? Somebody has said something to me about UTSA's defense played worse in the first half of the season than it did the second half. No, they didn't. No, that's not true. Well, I can't say that. From a points per game perspective, we gave up 31, I think 0.7 points a game in the second half of the year, the last 6 regular season games. So, I think the offenses, we're going to have to lean on them. We're going to have to lean on them until the guys, get comfortable on defense. But the thing about UTSA defenses in the Traylor era is they are playmaking defenses. They're not defenses that are going to blank you and you're not going to score any points. You'll have some success, but they're going to take appropriate risks. They're going to be good. They're going to be reasonably good at getting off the field on third down, and they're going to create takeaways. That's the big thing. And if you start to see that's the sign of, oh, that's UTSA's defense. UTSA is going to be fine. When we start creating takeaways and we start getting the ball or taking advantage of some of these binary situations where we got to get off the field, or they're going to keep a drive alive in a pivotal moment. Like we typically have been on the winning side of those in the Traylor era. That's what you want to see from those defenses. But yeah, I think you're spot on here. The continuity on offense is going to have to spell defense, at least in the first part of the season. Seth says, who do you think will have a breakout year from our transfers, and how concerned are you about our corners? Like I said, I'll answer the corners one in the beginning or first. I'm not that concerned about the corners because I like I said, I think the coach is so good. I mean, it speaks for itself what he's produced. I mean, think about it, y'all. Tariq Woolen, Cam Alexander, Zay Frazier. 3 NFL corners. 3. Straight like that. I mean, and I know Cam's situation was a little different. He probably would have had an opportunity to get drafted if he didn't leave UTSA. He went to Oregon, like that's his own thing, but he still ended up making it. I mean, he's on an NFL roster right now. Think he's with Seattle. So like that kid's UTSA made. Seattle not getting him from what he did at Oregon. They getting him for what he did at UTSA. Remember that. So I'm not that worried about the corners because of what the coach has been able to produce and do with some of these corners. Now, transfers. I don't know. Let me see. I have a guy. I just want to make sure I don't screw his name up. I'm gonna go with Jalen Smith, transfer from Michigan State. I don't know if you've seen the tape on him. I think he's really good. I think he's just a guy I'm keeping my eye on. Like, I think he's someone that like the type of receiver that excels at UTSA. He fits that mold. The type of receiver that excels under Coach Coach Trailer. As he's not like the big body like receiver that's going to catch some of the big shots downfield, but like he can kind of do everything. The tape on him is really good. He's somebody I'm definitely keeping my eye on, Jalen Smith. Oscar says, I expect a big season from UTSA. McCown will have another season under his belt, and I think the defense will surprise a lot of people. I'm expecting a great season out of them as well. I think, listen, UTSA is poised to do that. I think that's the big thing, right? UTSA is poised to have a very big season. When you think about McCown coming back and there being so much quarterback turnover throughout our conference, that gives us a leg up because we have someone who's already done it at this school with a lot of the people that he's familiar with that was there last season. There's no way to say that that's not an advantage, right? It's one of the reasons why I'm super excited about Texas State, right? And to me, I look at Texas State, like think about Texas State, the Texas State game last year. I know we don't want to because they blew us out, but if you think about last year, you think about the quarterback situations, they had just got the Sun Belt Player of the Year to come in and play quarterback for them. And yes, he's going through growing pains. We're seeing him early in the season, but he's already done it, bro. He's proven to himself that he's a big time player on the college level, right? Versus we had Owen McCown, who was like kind of in a quarterback battle, like everybody's still unsure if he's going to be the guy. We did see Eddie Lee Marburger in that game. Like they caught us at a great time. Right? Like that game will look a whole lot different if it happened in the back half of the season as it did in the first couple of weeks. And that's okay. But now the tables turn. Right? Now the tables turn. The Bobcats got to come to San Antonio and come to the Alamo Dome. And now McCown got a season under his belt Now Texas State is trying to usher in a new quarterback and get that figured out. I don't even think they've announced a starter yet. I could be wrong. I don't think they have yet. So the tables have turned now. And now we'll see what goes on, right? So anyway, I'm excited for the season. I think UTSA is going to get off to a fast start. People are starting to talk me into this Texas A&M thing, and I'm trying to resist it. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm expecting big things this year. I'll say that. Mr. Meep says everyone in the chat better be C-stat for the first game against the Aggies this season. Oh man, it sucks that I don't know what C-stat means. Somebody let me know what that means. Let's see, he says, Seth says, do you hope we stick with the running back that gives us, they can get 20 to 30 carries a game is probably a bit much, but it will be, if we have a running back that is touching the ball that much, and that can be from the passing game to and running the game, and 30 is probably a bit much in this new age of football, but over 20, that means we got somebody we believe in. So I would prefer 20 touches by a running back. I think that gives us the best chance to make some noise, man. Are you going to College Station for our first game versus the Aggies on August 30th? Probably not, honestly. I will certainly be at Texas State, and I'll be in San Antonio for Texas State and UIW. College Station, I have a family thing that is going to throw off that was probably throw off me being able to come there. So I'm not even making it part of my plans, honestly. Dave says, I believe our defensive linemen look good, but what about our offensive line? How's that position? The offensive line will be fine. We got a couple of preseason guys on the offensive line. I think our offensive line will be okay. They definitely have to do better than what they did last year because they started off pretty rough last year. Let's be honest, but I think they'll be okay. I'm not super worried about it. Seth says, do you think that the BYU quarterback transfer might play us this year? And don't think that gives Tulane an advantage. I mean, he probably will. I mean, check out the read, by the way. I'm going to post I'm covering all of like the G5 on my account, the Read HQ. So if you guys are on X, type in the Read HQ into your thing and follow that account. But anyway, I've been following a lot more of the storylines with some of the teams that's in UTSA's conference. Tulane and their quarterback situation. I think that coach is still unsure of who he wants to go with. He's not like that. That's seems to me like that battle is still very open. And if you go get a guy from BYU, you know, you're going to bring him in probably for a reason, and you're going to take the chance that you're taking on this guy. And with some of the things that he got going on off the field. Yeah. I mean, now, would it give them an advantage? I have no idea. There's so many things that go into that, but we'll see. I believe our defense. Well, okay, I think we struggle a little bit. Yeah, answered that one already. Seth says, how important is this game with Texas State when it comes to recruiting out at Texas State? It's hugely important. And like, here's the one thing I don't understand, y'all. And help me understand this for y'all who won't hear. People like the Texas State people always hit me up in my mentions saying, and y'all said it's not a rivalry. I mean, what is that about? I don't understand that. Like, I think UTSA very clearly has a rivalry with Texas State just in general. I can understand like us saying it's not a rivalry because we win every time in football. So like that's fair. Well, it's fair, but it's a little like, I don't know. It's a little trick. I know what we're doing. We're like jabbing at them, but like, yeah, I'm all for us calling it a rivalry, a I-35 showdown, whatever you want to. Like, I'm all for that, guys. As we don't want to. I don't like to. I don't know if admitting it or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is they upgraded their conference. There's going to be a little bit more eyes on what they do. And they leveled up a little bit for themselves within themselves. Does that push them past UTSA? It doesn't, right? But they are doing things to better their program. We, as in UTSA, have to do things to better our program as well. So games like this and games like against Texas State, especially now, is a lot more important than it was last season and the season before that, you know? So absolutely. Seth says, do you think our universities should start looking into partnering with some of these big companies around the city? Oh, they're trying. They're trying. We talk about this almost every time I do one of these shows. They're trying to they're doing their best to get people with these big companies, but I've heard that it's really difficult working with UTSA actually. Yeah, I had some. So yeah, I can give you kind of a update on this. I have heard from a couple of people from bigger companies over, I won't say the last few weeks. I'll say over the last couple of months. 2 to 3 people. One company, I don't know if I would consider them one of the big ones, but like at least 2 from the big ones in San Antonio. And yeah, I hear that UTSA is not easy to work with. It's just what I hear. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's mentions of red tape and they can't do this, they can't do that. They want to, yeah. So I don't know. Now, I also don't know in what capacity do they mean by like UTSA is not easy to work with. Like, Is the company asking UTSA to do something that UTSA doesn't feel comfortable? Is UTSA's processes not like easy enough to follow or something? I don't know. But yeah, it needs to get cleaned up, obviously. HEB needs to step up. They do. I would love if they did. Shout out to Fast Food Toy Box. Meet. Hassan says if anyone is going to move to a Power 4 conference, it'll be the following teams: UNT, UAB, Tulane, Rice, South Florida, and Memphis. Honorable mention, Army and Navy. If anyone is going, well, I guess we're not one of those. I don't see a lot of, UAB, no. UNT, probably not. They don't have money to move to a bigger conference. I don't think UAB does either. Memphis tried, but they probably could make a Power 4 move at some point. Tulane, I don't know if they have some resources, certainly. But yeah. Go Runners go. Caleb says, how do you see running back rotation work? Yeah, Caleb, I'll my thoughts on a running back rotation is I prefer we have one guy and maybe another guy to spell them, but I just don't want to see 5-6 different running backs touching the ball each game. I just don't want to see that. We saw that a couple times last season, believe it or not. Like 5 different running backs got touches. And I just don't want to see that. Like 3 tops, but mainly 2. And I want one to be the GoDaddy. Like that will be my preference. But we have a new running backs coach, and I'm sure he's going to manage that the way he, the best way he sees fit. And we just got to deal with it. Hassan says, congratulations to UTSA men's basketball legend from the DF Dub, Keaton Wallace. His brother Kason Wallace won his first NBA championship with the OKC Thunder. Yes, I did see that. Congratulations to them. I see your next one about congratulating the OKC Thunder. I am not a fan of them, so I'm not going to put it on the banner. But shout out to Kason Wallace, though, for winning. Yep, Keaton is with the Atlanta Hawks. Seth said, do you think that the university should start? Yep, I already answered that one. Hassan is talking up Keaton. Keaton and Kason and myself all went to Richardson High School in Richardson, Texas. That's why you so lit. Okay. Shout out to the Richardson Eagles, man. Shout out to you guys. All right, Meep. He said, Mr. Meep says, okay, College Station. There we go. Let's see. We just got a few more here that we will round out. Hassan, hope we can just join the Big 12 and SEC one day soon, y'all. Big 12, I think, is possible. Not super soon, but I think it's come holler at me in 5 years, like Big 12, I could see that. SEC, not a chance. Shout out to Miss Carol. Texas State is definitely a rival. No one on this platform likes them. Yep, and I am one of them. So yeah, no one likes them. Shout out to Miss Carol. She's a Johnny Taylor fan. I don't know if you guys out there who listen to like soul blues like that, but Johnny Taylor, if you know me, I like some blues like quite a bit, and Johnny Taylor's like one of my favorites. And Miss Carol and I talk about that sometimes. It's cool. Shout out to Mr. Meep. Great stream, man. Everyone remember to like and sub. Shout out to y'all are doing the Lord's work. Thank you. Let's see. UCF says, how many games do you plan on attending this year? Shout out to you for being here not being a UTSA fan. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, like and subscribe. At minimum 3, but the games that are not on Saturdays, or the game that's not on Saturday at home, is a tough one for me. I probably won't make it. But probably 4. I plan on being in San Antonio a lot more than I have been in recent years. I've made some changes in my schedules to be able to accommodate those. I think it's important for me to get out there. So yeah, I'll definitely be out there quite a bit. Do you have your tickets lined up for the Texas State game? If not, let me know. Just got a new job and I might miss them this season. Dang it. Well, congratulations to you getting a new job. I actually don't have my tickets lined up, but I think I'm going to go as a member of the media because I don't think no one's coming with me. My wife will not be able to join because she will be out of town herself. So yeah, we'll see. If not, I'll hit you up if I don't go as a media member. Seth says, if Traylor wins the AAC this year, do you think he's going to leave? Yes. I'm sorry, but yes. I could. Yeah, I probably should talk about this when some people have left the stream. Yeah, I definitely think so. I think we better I'll just say this because I don't want to like fearmonger anybody. We should appreciate him while we have him. I'll leave it at that. Do you think UTSA should get into something like private equity? I think we should do anything that's going to help us figure out this money situation. So yeah, if private equity does that, I'm all for it. UC Fez says, yeah, I agree. I was aiming for 3 or 4 until they moved the space game to Friday. So I'll probably definitely try to get 3. Yeah, 3. The ones I have circled as for sure are Texas State, UIW, Army. So yeah, hope to see you there. And then Rowdy Runner says, ladies, show up and show out helmets and heels this Saturday. Cool. Make sure y'all show up. Anyway, pieces to everyone. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it, and we will be back. See y'all, man. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.